Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of Around the Rosie pattern. In this video, I'll show you how to convert Around the Rosie into a square. So let's get started together. So to start part 2, I'm gonna use the same yarn I used in part 1 doing the Around the Rosie pattern, which is DK yarn with a 2.5mm hook. And I'm gonna need 4 stitch markers. Again, this is optional. It will just make things easier for you while we're working. If you don't have stitch markers, I grabbed something else right there. This I don't know what it's called, but this is what comes with any new electric devices, wrapping the cords together. So I decide to recycle these and use them as stitch markers if I don't have a stitch marker. So this is an optional thing if you want. So after finishing round 7 of Around the Rosie, I've cut off my yarn, and then I'm gonna attach it into the double crochet of round number 6, which is one round below where we are right now. And where I'm gonna attach it will be into the double crochet right after a front post double crochet. So here's my front post double crochet of round number 7, and down there is front post double crochet of round number 6. I'll locate the next double crochet, which is right there, and I'm gonna be attaching my yarn right on top of it. Now the only difference will be is that I'm gonna be attaching it from the back. So I'll bend my shell to get it out of my way, and I'm gonna attach my yarn right here. So here's my yarn. And I'm gonna pull a loop and then chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And as we have agreed, any number of chains at the beginning of the round is not considered a stitch. So I'll go back into that same stitch and do a treble crochet into the back loop. So if you haven't done a stitch into the back loop before, our stitch, I'm gonna show you on a different stitch right there. So any stitch looks like a V letter on the top of it from a top view. The loop towards me is the front loop, and the other side or the other arm of the V towards or away from me is the back loop. So working in the back loop only means that I'm gonna insert my hook from the middle of the letter V and around the back loop only. This is how we do a back loop stitch. So back to where we are right there, I'll go into that same stitch again. I'll just do 2 yarn over because it's a treble, and I'll go into the back loop of my stitch right there and finish my treble crochet. One more time into the next stitch, 2 yarn over or yarn over twice, and then into the back loop of the round number 6 and do a treble crochet. Into the next stitch, the same thing, yarn over twice into the back loop and finish your treble stitch. Now we are at the stitch where there is the shell of round number 7. We're gonna skip this stitch and we will chain 2. Now we need to squeeze these trebles of the shell a little bit so we can expose the next stitch. If we can't really see it, we can just look there, locate the post, which is right there, and this where we should be going in the next step. So again, a treble, so yarn over twice into the back loop, right there, pull a loop and finish your treble. And then into the next stitch we're going to repeat the same sequence. And one more time into the next stitch, a treble. And now we should be at the front post double crochet stitch. At this point, we're not going to be doing a front post double crochet. We're going to replace it with a treble. So chain yarn over twice and go into the back loop and do a treble. So far what we did is we chained 3 to start our round, and into the same stitch we did a treble crochet, and into the next 2 stitches we did the same, so 1 treble crochet into each of the following 3 stitches. Then we reached the stitch where there was a shell in round 7, so we skipped that stitch and we did chain 2 on top of it to bridge over it. Now next what we did was a treble into each of the 4 stitches, and we're gonna be repeating the same sequence again. So here 1 treble into each of the 3 right there, and then we reach the shell. We're gonna skip that stitch and chain 2 to bridge over it, and then do 4 trebles in the next 4 stitches, and we should end at a stitch behind the front post double crochet of round number 7. So let's do it again together. So yarn over twice into the back loop and finish your treble crochet. Yarn over twice, back loop, and this is my second. Yarn over twice into the 3rd stitch right there, and finish the 3rd. Then we chain 2 to go over the shell stitch, and then repeat the trebles in the back loop for the next 4 stitches. Okay, so we're gonna be doing the same sequence until we reach the end of round number 8. So I'm at the end of round number 8. I finished my 4 trebles right there, and I'm ready to join the ends together. I'll skip the chain 3, which we did at the beginning of the round, and I'll go on top of the first a treble right there, and I'll do a slip stitch. So this is the end of round number 8. It will not show really like from this side because it's basically we're working behind the shell. However, all the spaces right there between the shells should be covered by now by the trebles work behind it. So let's start working on round number 9. So to start round number 9, before we start, we need to get the stitch markers close to us because this is where they will be handy. Again, it's optional, it's not really critical, but it's a good option to make things easier for you to visualize your corners as we create them. So to start round number 9, we're gonna chain 1, and then into that same stitch we're gonna do a single crochet. So I'm gonna go in there and work a single crochet stitch. Next, we're gonna do 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Now we're at the chain 2 space of the previous round. We're gonna go into that space and do 3 single crochet. Now for the next 3 stitches, we're gonna do a half double crochet stitch into each. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 3 of them all at once. One more time, yarn over into the next stitch, go in there and pull a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 3. Last time, a half double crochet. Then we should be at a treble that is sitting right behind a front post double crochet. Into this stitch, we'll go in there and do a shell of 5 double crochet stitches. So we will go into that stitch 5 times and do a double crochet. So yarn over, go into the stitch, pull a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. We're gonna repeat that 4 more times. Right there. So I have 5 double crochet stitches into that stitch. Now I'm gonna grab my stitch marker and go on top of the 3rd double crochet and put my stitch marker in there. Right there. So this is the first corner of my square for this round. Next, we're gonna do a half double crochet stitch into the next 3 stitches right there. A chain 2 space, we're gonna do 3 single crochet into it. And for the next 7 stitches right there, we're gonna do a single crochet into each. don't miss that stitch right there, it's hidden. So just you need to squeeze those 3 single crochet to expose it right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Another space, we're gonna do 3 single crochet stitches in there. Okay, this is what it looks for now. Next, we're gonna do 3 half double crochet stitches. Now we're ready to do another corner. Our corner is made up of 5 double crochet stitches. So we'll do 5 double crochet into that stitch. This stitch is right above the front post double crochet. If it's not, then we need to check our count, our stitch numbers, and make sure that we are at the right count, that we haven't missed any stitches on our way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, and then I'm gonna put a stitch marker into the third one. Next, I'm gonna do 3 half double crochet. I'm at a chain 2 space of the previous round right there, so I'm gonna go in and do 3 single crochet stitches. Next, I'm gonna do a single crochet into each of the 7 stitches that are on my way right here. So here I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm at a chain 2 space again, so I'll go in and do 3 single crochet stitches. And then I'm ready to do another corner right there. So I'll do 3 half doubles into 1 in each of the coming 3 stitches. And then into the 4th, which is right on top of my front post double crochet, I'll do a shell of 5 double crochet stitches. And again, I'm gonna put a stitch marker into the middle one, the 3rd stitch of this shell. Next, I'll do 3 half double crochet, 1 in each stitch. Next, 3 single crochet stitches into the chain 2 space. And then single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. Next, we're at a chain 2 space, so we're gonna do 3 single crochet. And now we're doing the last corner for this round. So we'll do a half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And then in the 4th stitch right above the front post double crochet, we're gonna do a shell of 5 double crochet stitches. And again, use a stitch marker. This time I'm gonna use this thing, and I'll go right there into the 3rd double crochet of the shell and put my stitch marker in there. And then I'll do a half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. Then we're at a chain 2 space, so we're gonna do 3 double crochet. And then into the last 4 stitches of the round, we're gonna do a single crochet into each. And then we're gonna slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. So this is the end of round number 9. Now we're ready to do the round number 10, which is the last round for this square of how to convert around the Rosie into a square. So to start round number 10, we're gonna chain 1, and we're gonna be working into the back loop only for this round. So we're gonna go into that same stitch where we joined, and we're gonna go and do a single crochet in the back loop only. We will be working a single crochet in the back loop all around the stitches. But when we come to the corners, we're gonna do something different. So single crochet into the back loop, into each and every stitch until we reach the stitch that has a stitch marker. This stitch, I will work 3 single crochet in the same stitch. So again, in the back loop only, I'm gonna go in there 3 times and do a single crochet stitch. Now starting the second side of the square, I'm gonna work a single crochet in the back loop all the way until I get to the next stitch marker, where I'm gonna do a single crochet, 3 single crochet into that stitch. Feel free to do it as a back loop only corner, or if you want to go under the 2 sides of the V to do a regular single crochet stitch, this is optional. But again, I'll just keep it into the back loop just to keep the pattern going like the same way. And I'll see you right here to show you what we're gonna do again. So I'm at the second stitch marker right there. I worked 23 single crochet in the back loop along this side after I did the 3 single crochet into that corner. So 3 single crochet into the same stitch, then 23 single crochet, 1 into each stitch along the side. And now I'm ready to do the second corner for this round. So I'll remove my stitch marker and I'm gonna go in there into that stitch and do 3 single crochet. Now I'll repeat the same sequence again, a single crochet into the back loop along this side until I reach the third stitch marker, and then the same thing, 23 single crochet in the back loop until I reach my fourth corner. I'll do 3 single crochet into that stitch, and then at the end in this side, because we've already started with 11 stitches here, so here you're gonna have only 12 single crochet to work until you reach the end of the round. So I'll meet you here to join the ends and finish the square together. So here I am at the end of round number 10. I finished 12 stitches on this side after I've done the last corner, and then I'm gonna go into the first single crochet of the round and do a slip stitch to join. Is how we convert around the Rosie pattern into a square.